Hey guys, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Alex here. Gonna be showing you another deck that I made. This one is very recent. I just made it about a few weeks ago, and I think it's a pretty good deck. It's a dragon deck, and I think it's pretty good. So this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna show off the normal monsters, then the effect monsters, then the spells, then the traps, and that's pretty much how it's gonna go. All right. So let's get started. First, we have starting with normal monsters, a baby dragon. 1200 attack, 700 defense. D-Human. He has 1300 attack, 1100 defense. Red Eyes Black Dragon. 2400 attack, 2000 defense. Level 7, so you need 2 sacrifices. We have Kuomori Dragon, which has 1500 attack, 1200 defense. Winged Dragon Guardian of the Fortress. 1400 attack, 1200 defense. Luster Dragon. That's 1900 attack, 1600 defense. Taihone number 2, 1700 attack, 1900 defense. It's a 6-star monster, so you need one sacrifice for it. Ryuran, he has 2200 attack, 2600 defense. He's a level 7, so you need 2 sacrifices. Wait a minute, is he level 7? Yes, I thought he was level 8 for a second there, I'm sorry. Dragon Dwelling in the Cave, 1300 attack, 2000 defense. Dragon Zombie, 1600 attack, 0 defense. Then we have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, 3000 attack, 2500 defense. Now, whenever I show normal monsters from here on out, like just from now, I'm going to be naming the attack and defense since there's nothing really to say about them. Now, as I move on to the effect monsters, I'll explain their effects. So first we have 2 Decoy Dragons. Their ability is that if this is selected as an attack target, then what happens is you get to select a level 7 or higher dragon type from your graveyard, and then bring it back on the field and switch the attack target from this guy to maybe, like, I don't know, a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a Red Eyes or a Ryuran, because that's the ones I have in my deck here. And it's pretty likely that you'll be able to get them in your graveyard if you use like certain spells or traps. Like, let's see here. Do I have any in here that are worth? Like, say I had use Graceful Charity or Lightning Vortex. Then I would have to discard cards, and I would easily be able to discard a level 7 monster, set my Decoy Dragon, and boom, I got a powerful monster on the field. Next we have 3 Armed Dragon level 3s. Now his effect is that during the standby phase you can special summon 1 level 5 Armed Dragon level 5 from your hand or deck. But that, of course, that has to be sent to the graveyard as a sacrifice. Next we have 3 of these. 3 Armed Dragon level 5s. You can send 1 monster card to the graveyard and destroy 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field whose attack is equal to or less than the monster you just discarded. And you can sacrifice, if he destroys a monster in battle at the end of the turn that he does so, you can summon Armed Dragon level 7 from your hand or deck, but I don't have one in my possession, so that's a kind of a worthless effect to me as of now. Next we have 3 Mass Dragons. These are mostly to bring out my Armed Dragon level 3 to really like try and damage my opponent. If once it's destroyed by battle, I can send one. When it's destroyed by battle, sent to the graveyard, I can special summon 1 dragon with 1500 attack or less. Next we have Barrel Dragon. Now he's a machine, but he still has dragon in his name. I know that's kind of a stupid thing, but I still like this guy. His effect is that you toss a coin 3 times. If 2 out of 3 results are heads, you can destroy 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field, and it can only be used once per turn during your main phase. Now, I'm not quite sure that you can do it if you have 3 out of 3 heads, but I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, it's kind of obvious that if you get 2 out of 3, you destroy something, that's obvious, but if you get 3 out of 3, then you should still be allowed to do the same thing. But some people complain that you're not allowed to do that. The Twin-Headed Behemoth. Now, his effect is that when it's destroyed and sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon it during the end phase of the turn with 1000 attack and defense. and that can only be used once per duel. But in this original attack and defense are 1500 and 1200, so his attack would be reduced by 500, his defense 200. So that's a pretty good deal, and he's good for sacrificing, very, very good for sacrificing. Next we have the Mirage Dragon. If he's on the field face up, your opponent can't activate any traps during the battle phase. Next we have Light and Darkness Dragon. Now, his ability is very weird. He can't be special summoned, first of all, and when he's on the field, his attribute is treated as dark. He is, if you can see there, he is a light monster, so he's treated as a dark and light monster. So, basically, dark and light. Makes sense, Light and Darkness Dragon. When a spell or trap is activated, or the effective effect monster is activated, what happens is you can negate it, but this card loses 500 attack and defense. Originally, he has 2800 attack, 2400 defense, and after a while, like, once you get down to, like, 300 attack and, like, 0 defense, you won't be able to do such a thing, because after that, you're not allowed to do that. And when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can select one monster in your graveyard, but you have to destroy all cards on your field once it says sent to the graveyard to activate this ability. You select one monster in your graveyard, and special summon it to the field. It can be any monster you want. I think you're allowed to ignore the special summons. Say I was trying to summon a monster that's not allowed to be special summoned. I think you can ignore that, but I'm not quite sure. Next we have the Red Eyes Black Chick. It's mostly used for summoning the Red Eyes Black Dragon from your hand. I think you can sacrifice it on the first turn. I'm not sure. If you would like to let me know, then I would really appreciate it. I have another Mirage Dragon here. I already explained the ability. Next we have the Tyrant Dragon. Now his ability is that if during the battle phase, if your opponent controls a monster, even after your first attack, you can attack again. And you are not allowed to negate the effect of any trap that targets Tyrant Dragon and negate it. And what else does this card do? If it's special summoned from the graveyard, you have to sacrifice a dragon type, unfortunately. But it's a good cause. I mean, he has 2900 attack. That's fairly good. It rivals Blue Eyes. So yeah, next we have one Troop Dragon. This is fairly useless, but I understand that you're supposed to have like 2 or 3 in here. But I only have 1, and he's kind of just in there because he's a dragon. I know that's really, really stupid reason, but you gotta work with me here. Sorry. Next we have the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. You can only activate this when you have equipped your Red Eyes with a Metamorph. That's the only effect. And it can't be special summoned from the graveyard, by the way. Next we have a Kaiser Seahorse. You're allowed to sacrifice it, and if you do, and you're trying to summon a light type, you can just sacrifice that one. That counts as 2 tributes for light monsters. Next we have 2 Lord of D's, or Lord of Dragons. As long as it remains face up on the field, all dragon-type monsters cannot be targeted by spells, traps, or effects that designate a target. But Lightning Vortex, that would work, because that doesn't really designate a target, that just goes for the entire field. I am running out of time, so I'm going to speed this up. We have Stamping Destruction. You're allowed to destroy one spell or trap on your opponent's side of the field, and they lose 500 life points, but you can only do that if you have a dragon on your side of the field. We have 2 Flute of Summoning Dragons. If you have a Lord of D on the field, you're allowed to special summon 2 dragons from your hand. We have Graceful Charity, draw 3 cards and discard 2. Next, then we have Lightning Vortex, and what you do is you destroy all monsters face-up monsters on your opponent's side of the field, but you'd have to discard a card from your hand. Pot of Greed, draw 2 cards. Metamorph. I think I have 2 of these in here, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have 2 of these. You equip it to a face-up monster, and it gains 300 attack and defense. And during the damage calculation only, the monster you attack, you gain half of its attack points. So say I attacked a Blue Eyes, I would gain 1500 attack points, which is really awesome. We have Negate Attack, which ends the battle phase of either of your turn. You can end your own or your opponent's. We have Call of the Haunted, which allows you to bring back a monster from the graveyard. Dragon's Rage, which allows you to, you have a dragon type and you're attacking a defense monster, the difference is dealt as damage. And then we have Magical Hats. You set 3 cards, 2 of them being spell or traps, 1 of them being a monster, and at the end of the turn, that monster returns to your side of the field, so it's pretty much just to protect your monsters. Thank you for watching. Quick shout out to the Card Expert. I appreciate you subscribing. Goodbye.